Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Be a Movie Snob. We're back, folks, and we've got some snobby movies. That's right. Folks, we are glad to be back, well, it's a movie. We watched a movie, and it's kind of snobby because we actually got, drum roll please, another screener. That's right, folks. This just got, although I did
feeling special.
This did get released in the U.S. like a week ago, so it's technically released in the U.S. I don't know what that means.
But we did get it before.
Yeah,
it was
that's
released.
True. We got it before it was released. We just didn't watch it until it was released. Guys, if you don't know who we are the How to Be a Movie Snob team. Our goal is to watch movies, and no one else will watch them with us. So we band together and watch these movies, and then we talk about them, and then we feel like we're more snobby, and that's pretty much it. Let me introduce you to the gang from afar. We always introduce him first. He is the professor of pairings, the purveyor of prestigious pictures, Patrick. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Wow, what an introduction.
Good.
A lot of alliteration,
as
we are wont to do.
I only kind of stumbled through it, so that's fine. In the studio today, we have the mistress of melodrama and marinades.
It's very true.
The Michigan level movie snob, Mariah.
What level is Michigan?
And did
Pretty
I say
good.
Michigan or Michelin? Tell me I said Michigan.
You said
I thought you said
Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh, that's even funnier.
I was like, that's pretty
Michelin.
middle of the road.
I definitely read
it's not
on
very
my
high
script
level.
Michelin and still said Michigan. That's the best part about it.
I like the
Great.
Michigan
The
too.
Michigan stars is more appropriate.
She's not very good.
I wasn't
yet.
aware that
Stars.
was one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And the sous chef of cinema himself. I'm Seth, guys, and welcome to How to Be a Movie Snob.
Oh, good evening.
There we
Good
go.
evening.
Good evening.
I see.
Nice to have you
It
guys.
took me to get all the way to you, maybe because you said Michigan instead of Michelin.
To see the theme of the movie is
Food
like in
related.
there.
I
Yeah,
like
food.
that you
got
prepared. That was good.
I did. I prepared
Yeah.
more. I
It's very
couldn't
nice.
think of enough things that started with the correct letter, so I had to do a little help there. And I had to write it down, and I still misread it. That's the best part about this. I have a script in front of me, and I still misread it.
You did get our names right.
I did. Guys, we're kind of doing, this would be the earliest we've ever done award season, but this is the earliest award movie that we've been given. If we were super famous, we'd be going to these screeners all the time at this time of year, but we're not. So we're pretty stoked to have this one earlier. And we'll be honest, this one is not even, we don't even know where it's going to be. We only know that it's on the short list of a certain country that might make it to be put in the barrel to be nominated for the Oscars. That's right, folks. That's the level.
Potential.
I'll repeat that again.
It's on a list to be on a list.
This movie
to be on a list.
is on a short list for a particular country to then be submitted to a much bigger list for the Academy Awards to maybe nominate, but it's a real tough field, and we don't even know movies are going to be out there yet. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. Let's start out with a little geography lesson. Mariah, do you know where this movie came from?
South America.
Nice. Pat, do you know the country of origin of this movie?
Peru.
Yes, this is Peruvian.
Peruvian.
A Peruvian historical melodrama is how the Wikipedia post calls it. It's an interesting thing about movies overseas. Let's talk about the whole picking a movie from your country to submit. Now, us being from the big old bad US of A, we kind of have a corner on the market. We kind of have, it's our awards. We get to do, most of the movies come from our country or are from our production studios filmed in other countries because California is too expensive. But in general, having an American movie in the Academy Awards is the standard. It's an American awards show. But there is a little category called the foreign. Actually, what is it called now? Is it international films now?
Best
Well, that's a good question. As opposed to best foreign film,
Best foreign
or
film
foreign
used to be
language.
called. Yeah. So how that works is almost every country on the planet, and I'm going to say almost because there's a lot who don't. Who take
International feature film. I
International
believe it is.
feature
has the
film.
opportunity.
Yes. foreign does have a very, not so, has a weird, being from America, foreign is a weird
Slightly
word.
negative
Yeah,
connotation
negative
to
connotation, which in other countries it doesn't really have that negative connotation. I mean, it kind of does, but not the same as America, since America is a land of mostly immigrants. That's why I feel like the word foreigner is so like, well, aren't we all kind of, unless you're a Native American? So like, that's the weird thing about
I
being
think
American and foreigner.
maybe because foreign doesn't always talk about a person from a different country. It could also be a foreign object.
Yes.
Foreign.
Which would also mean from somewhere else, which again can be negative or not. So yeah, just because what your doctor told you, Mariah, shouldn't be there doesn't mean
Foreign body. Oh. Don't know how that got there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird. That's super weird. Anyways, this is on a short list from the country of Peru, and Peru. Do you know how many movies have been nominated for an Oscar from Peru?
Not a
I
lot.
do know this, but I just looked it up.
Oh, okay. Well, Pat, since you know it, and do you probably have the movie right now, go for it. Because his research team is hot right now.
Yeah. Since 1967, with over 30 entries to date, Peru has yielded one nomination for Best International Feature called The Milk of Sorrow in 2009.
About the harm that
Sad milk.
Yeah, well, mother's milk goes down to the kids and generational problems and stuff like that. So it was a very interesting concept of the movie, but that is the only one in Peru's history to even be nominated for an Academy Award. So it's such a if you're in a country that doesn't have a huge market, like for example the US, even China, Korea, like the big hitters here, then it's very, because those countries always have every other year they're not only get a nomination but then they're often in the running. Then so it's really a big honor just to be even selected at all, and just to be selected in your country and then to have a chance to be selected for an Academy Award is just kind of a huge thing. And it makes me realize how cool it is that you get to actually represent your country, and if you have a chance to be nominated, it'd be like someone from your town in Oregon or your state gets to be a movie star. It's that kind of level of that's so cool. So anyways, okay, moving on from that, I just like to talk about that every time we have these screeners, because it's a big deal, and it's hard to think about from the American perspective. Also, let's talk about when this movie was made and when it was released. Pat, you got a little information on that as well?
I have some. We'll see if it's accurate.
Yeah.
I believe this first premiered in October of 2024.
Yes.
And then has been making the festival circuit ever since.
Yes, exactly right. And so it actually did pretty well in 2024. It won the Newport Beach Film Festival. And then in 2025, it was released. It won some awards at the Durango Independent Film Festival in the Sarasota and the 30th Stony Brook Film Festival. And so now it's 2026, and this is the year that this one's going forward. I'm not sure if it's going to be the pick for Peru, but it looks like it has a pretty good chance. The other movies are also on the list. Some of them have a little bit of love as well, but this one seems to be a front runner for Peru, so to speak. So there we are. Okay, guys. Mm-hmm. Shall we get into it?
Should we?
We shall.
Let's. Okay, guys, if you haven't been here before, we like to do a little thing called Cold Brews and Hot Takes. And we like to talk about what stood out for us, or what may be controversial, a crazy take can we take. Our negative Nancy, Patrick, do you want to go first?
Did we say what this movie was called?
Oh,
Did
sorry.
We
We
say
have
the
not
name of
even.
this movie?
Mariah, what is
said
this
a lot
movie
about it.
called? Because we're going to make you do the first Spanish pronunciation. Booyah.
Mistura.
Mistura. 2024, 2025, and 2026. Mistura.
That's right.
Because that's the year. Yeah, they're going to say it's released. Pat, what is your hot take on this historical melodrama?
This is gonna sound maybe worse than I intended. So I
Shocker.
kind of have two things, and it's very related to the structure of the movie. So I think of it either as a classy, like Hallmark movie, or like a romantic comedy, but without the romance in the comedy. Like it felt like I was watching a movie in those genres, but a classy version. But structurally, I felt like, oh, here's these moments.
Yes.
It's all it's drama, but played in these worlds that I felt like, oh, I know this template, but you're not delivering on all the things I'm used to in the template. So that's my hot take.
That's pretty funny. A non-comedic romantic comedy. Okay, that's pretty good, Pat.
That's right.
That's pretty good. Mariah, you want to take this one, or you want me to go?
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, here we go, Mariah.
Well, my cold brew is Breakside's Rainbows and Unicorns, per usual, a Breakside beer. And my hot take is that this movie, like the two languages used in it, is a Amelie telenovela mashup.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that for sure. And that,
And I don't mean that in a negative way.
Yeah.
Unlike Pat.
unlike Pat.
I don't totally mean it in a negative way either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did say a classy Hallmark.
It was
Yeah.
You're right.
For sure.
Like it could be on Netflix. Hallmarky movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like a Lindsay Lohan.
Hey, shout out Lindsay, still getting paid. Way to go, Lindsay. Nice comeback. Nice comeback, Lindsay Lohan. If you want to be on the show, I'd love to talk about movies with you. Okay, I have a couple different ways I was going to go with this. First of all, I didn't know 100-step journey took place in Peru. That was my first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other one I had was, First of all, this is a terrible movie to watch while you have not eaten dinner, which I did. And it was rough.
yeah.
I was very, very rough because I will say this. It makes me want to eat Peruvian food more than anything, and makes me want to eat Japanese food, and it makes me want to eat.
It did make me sad about what I was sad
There
about
was
what was in my
porn.
fridge today
My
because
goodness.
of this movie.
Yeah, that was
That's true.
depressing.
Yeah.
So,
I microwaved my dinner tonight, so I'm not
Yeah.
living up to the standard of this.
Yeah.
yeah, I would say I just think that this season's Great British Bake Off got a little too dramatic. That's my only feeling about this movie.
A little personal.
It's more a
too
Master
personal.
Chef
Yeah.
situation, you know.
I also thought this was a very interesting sequel to Gosford Park. I thought that was really interesting. They went that way, and then he went downstairs and they helped out with the help. It was great. I thought it was a very good. Yeah. Okay, that's all I got. I got those.
Great.
Thanks.
Great.
Oh, not funny every time, guys. I deliver.
They're good.
They're
They're
good.
all hot
good.
takes.
Yep, they're all hot takes. Okay, let's get into this. Plop. Stop. Time. Mistura is about a woman and a man getting a divorce.
Mistura.
Oh,
Mistura.
What did I
Not
say?
Ministura.
There's a lot of ways I can.
I would say
I already know how
This
I'm gonna
is
mess
only
up
the
later.
beginning.
This is gonna get worse.
Did you know what Mistura meant when the movie started?
No.
It tells you what it means
No.
late in the movie.
I was looking stuff up while I was watching it, like a bad movie watcher. So I think it came across halfway through.
And we can get to it. I made an assumption about what Mistura could have meant. And I was like, I wanted it to go there. It's always a problem when you watch a movie that you want a movie to be something that the movie is not. But there was this I guess that's like,
Oh, everything's happy and nice. I don't like this.
There's no
yeah. Well, I think my thing could work. I'll pitch it later to you guys, and you can tell me
Yeah.
if it's
No, I think
but,
I already know where you go with this one.
But yeah, I misunderstood what
You
Mistura could mean,
mistood
and I
Mistura.
thought, maybe I
Pat,
prefer my version.
are you saying that your 2 years of Spanish, high school Spanish, did not inform
We
you?
didn't get to Mistura.
Really?
No.
Week
no.
1, man. That was week 1 at Central High. Go Panthers. I took French anyway. So it doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, I'm drinking a Peruvian wine because I'm so on point, guys. Because the lady in this is drinking wine like it's her job.
She's drinking a lot of wine.
She could have been on Mad Men the way she was drinking that thing. It was pretty impressive.
Might think she has alcohol abuse problems.
Well, yeah, yeah, there was a point to that. This movie is about a woman who's going through a divorce, who is very rich and has never had to work before, and realizes she's about to be very poor. And so her and her happy to continue to work for her staff comes up with the idea of making a restaurant.
Well, her chauffeur.
Yes. Well, I mean,
She didn't really have
some
much
of her
staff
Rosa
left
came
for
around.
a
Some of her
while.
stuff.
After-
Yeah. But there
they
was,
came around. They got there.
eventually.
It wasn't just the
Yeah.
chauffeur, but the chauffeur was numero uno for sure.
Yeah.
And then everything happens. Feels like kind of a Ted Lasso episode a little bit there with the exes coming in the last minute. So yeah, there's a lot of usual things going down. And they come up with a restaurant and try to figure out what it is. And there's a very cool Japanese Peruvian chef, and we have a lot of like shout outs to Peruvian culture in this one. And
Yeah, the melting
of
pot.
beautiful
that is.
food in this movie. A lot of beautiful food.
Yeah, it is a good amount of food porn in this. If you're into that alone,
I am.
there's some good close-ups on
100%.
platings and sizzling.
Well, color graded
Very
to
eat, pray, love.
yeah.
Kind of.
an inch of its life.
Oh, so good. Really, Pat? I'm not gonna let that one pass. Often I let him go, but that one I had to call out. All right, so let's jump into it. We all had no idea what we were getting into when we watched this movie. I did not read the synopsis until I started watching it halfway through. And so it was kind of fun. I did not, you never know, like some movies like super harsh. So I when I get into
I
was like,
I thought this is going to get real dark,
Yeah.
and then it just went, and then it became the other genre in a way, and I was like, oh,
you know what I was
that's
actually thinking?
lovely.
Yeah, you know what I was actually thinking about was the movie Coda, because I feel like American movies and Asian movies, particularly Korean these days, go dark and harsh quick, right? Like that's like the MO right now. Like horror movies are so in right now. But then you had movies like Coda who win the Oscar. That's like a nice, happy movie, right? And so this felt like, oh, other countries still have hope or something? I don't know. What's going on with that? Is there like, I don't understand what this happy feeling is. So there was a lot of this that felt like it could, if it was made in America or Korea, it would have gone a different direction, it feels like. But I don't, since we're not too familiar with Peruvian cinema, maybe that's
Not that it didn't dip
I mean,
really
it went
into dark.
It's true. Oh,
It
for
took
sure.
turns,
Good point.
Which is why I said Amelie mashup with telenovela. The drama happens. It's in and out.
Yeah.
But there are
It
definitely
is-
moments where you're like, oh, it's so light in the restaurant and the food and everyone's getting along and
yeah,
this is going to go well and you're so optimistic. And
for sure. Yeah, but in general, like when you get into award season, you're like, okay, what horrible thing is going to happen?
Yeah.
And what horrible ways
This
is this going
fluff
to end?
has gotta stop
And how is
soon.
this ending not going to
Yeah.
satisfy me in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah.
Because that's usually
Yeah.
the MO for award season. So that's why I
Well,
was like,
and
yeah.
I would say in my cons, this movie, in some ways, was maybe too realistic in some of the ways where I, as an audience member, I would want like the was it Carlos, the driver?
Oh,
No, Oscar,
Oscar.
not
The
Carlos.
big O,
Oscar.
baby.
Yeah, Oscar, and then his real name's Caesar or Cesar.
Yes.
Oscar challenges Norma, but like there's clear through most of the movie, pretty clear hierarchical stuff that you understand everyone is living within those. But I think if, again, maybe more Americanized or an inaccurate version of the period, he would have been more harsh. Like he basically just, when he stood up to her, it was like he was very quiet. And she was like, "What, did I say something wrong?" And he would barely say what it was.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't like these blow ups where it's like totally in your face. I think her and her son maybe had the biggest one.
Yeah, her and her son.
And that was kind of left unresolved in a way. But there's just stuff like there where you go, oh, yeah. And even her really struggling to change. Yeah. That's very realistic. I didn't have a problem with that. But there's, in some ways, it's less satisfying because they, I think, held on to maybe a more naturalistic version of how these events could have gone.
Well, yeah,
but it
like
had
when the husband
also
comes
the fantastical,
back to visit. Yeah,
happy-go-lucky, we're doing this as a family thing. So it kind of lived in both worlds in a way where I was like, I kind of wish you went more melodramatic.
Yeah.
To satisfy some of that I thought you were giving me, and it was restrained in some ways, and other times you're like, whoa, this is like, very romantic comedy, Ted Lasso-y or something. You go, oh, what a sweet thing.
You do get it when she fires Rosa and when Rosa doesn't accept the apology or the money, and it takes, the grandson being in the hospital to get her to even start to come around. And the whole husband, that awkward, like she doesn't stand up to him completely, but she also doesn't accept, like that's so realistic. And so like you get the awkward, like this is really probably what, there's no huge blow up, which would be probably realistic, especially for the 1960s, which is when this is happening. Also, you kind of wonder like how she's left with the house in her name. Like, how come if he just abandoned his wife? Like, I don't get the legal.
Yeah, did she have any
pieces of
Don't
that.
worry about that too much.
I'm questioning all of the.
We just need that the youth center was, at risk, and so everyone's got to raise money.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I liked that.
Not mathing.
And I actually really liked that, when she kind of got burned by society, like her high society people, she took it out on like the underlings.
I knew you were going to like that part.
I love that stuff. It's so human. And it's so real.
Yeah. It felt realistic.
Yeah.
I thought it made her very unlikable. At times,
as an irrational woman, at times, I would say that's very real kind of stuff.
And again, I don't think that maybe helped the movie experience, but I thought it felt realistic in that she would feel feelings that she couldn't express in her, outward life, and so she'd take it out on all these people she felt like she could. But of course, she's in a situation where she couldn't. So that was good drama. It just didn't always, sometimes you're like, oh, that sucked that you did that.
I think it kind of is reminiscent of Sentimental Value, where you're getting a realistic version of people's reactions to each other, even though it's not delivering the drama or the movie kind of impact that you want to have. Movies. Yeah, it's like you're like, this is probably how it would be, and that's kind of great. But you're also like, but I kind of want it to be.
I want Julia Roberts throwing some wine glasses down on the ground.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
want it to be more of like a powerful feminist like speech.
Is this all I am to you?
Blow up at the end, but it is such a human experience. It's such realistic human emotion and.
Well, and I think that's where it lived in like a funny spot because, again, massive spoilers.
By the way, spoiler.
Massive spoilers.
You're never not going to get a spoiler from us.
We got to do,
if you haven't figured it out yet.
A passive-aggressive call from her husband who's run off with Miss Peru. I think it's Miss Peru, right?
Was it really Miss Peru?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think so. She was also the daughter of some other ambassador or something, but
Yeah.
she was Miss Peru, I believe. And it spirals her out to the point where she takes a bunch of pills and wine, and I assumed to end her life.
Yeah, that
and
wasn't
then
clear, but it did seem
smacks
that
her
way.
head,
And
and
saves her life.
and it was sort of like that felt massive, and then the movie kind of underplays it. Like no one talks about it.
Yeah.
It's like, and again, probably realistic for the time or whatever, but that kind of it covered up her. She had just had a big blowout with her son, and I was like expecting or hoping a clearer reconciliation or acceptance of his kind of bohemian Parisian life that she didn't like. And they're we kind of like, well, I almost died, and so it's fine now. Like there's a little bit of, they set up things that maybe they didn't deliver in ways I wanted but it was in service maybe of a more realistic portrayal of society at that time. But it just kind of left me a little unsatisfied in different ways.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the time, because that was what I really enjoyed. They did seem to take effort to recreate
The
60s
historical,
Peru, which
yeah.
again remind me of Secret Agent of this last year. And where you get like the one parts of the treat of this was I literally had to look up some of the stuff they were talking about, because I'm like, oh, I didn't know
What
idea.
was happening?
What's that? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. And so it was very fun to see this 60s, some of the recognizable 60s thing, like the son looking like a hippie, like all of our parents did during that era. And then also like what a surfer is the reason why there's like a big crowd, like stuff like that was kind of this fun, like, oh,
world
what's going on in Peru?
surfer champion.
And they're talking about like the soccer teams or football teams, excuse me. So yeah, it was very fun, like recreation of that time. So I appreciate movies that do that, because it's a treat for the audience, and they did it well, and they did it carefully. They weren't too crazy about it, but they still were very well. The coloring, of course, was a more traditional coloring too, so that felt like it was a safe, unlike Secret Agent, which is a more drastic, like almost Wes Anderson color type thing, and so that it was a very safe, not hallmarky colors, because it's still movie colors, but it was definitely like it felt like
I did think that made some of the early location setting not read as period in the same way, like
this is modern color.
What was nice,
yeah,
it was nice that they started with her narration at the beginning, and it was just over actual classic footage, I assume, period footage, with the grain, whatever, 18 millimeter.
Yeah, some of it was definitely not period. That was faked to be period, but yeah.
Yeah. But then we cut to, like a drone shot essentially coming up in the city. And I was actually pretty impressed. Like, there's probably a decent amount of VFX work happening to just kind
first
of
drone shot for sure.
make the city look like an old city. And then I felt like, there's clever ways that we're not seeing a lot of the city. Like you kind of went to this alleyway on New Year's in that first bit versus like a big part of the city. It felt like they were being
was the hero for that. They used the car to cut off angles like crazy. Those cool windows in that car, that was cutting off so much other visibility, and all you can think about, what a cool window in this car.
I didn't think it felt like they skimped on the period set dressing. It felt like, no, they did a good job. But you realize after the fact, like, we've been in like 3 locations, and so they really didn't need to do that much. But I was convinced of it, which I thought was great. Like it felt, again, like it felt like a well-made movie.
It's interesting how the color makes such a difference, because I think you nailed it. Because we talked about the movie where he's in the school that they shot digitally but made it look like old 70s film.
Yep.
With Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, with Paul Giamatti. And it was so everything.
Holdovers.
Holdovers. There you go. Holdovers, and that was the same
Thank
year.
you.
I think that was the same year
Food.
as Oppenheimer, right? So Oppenheimer actually shot on film, but ironically enough, the Holdovers looked more period-esque than Oppenheimer. I mean, when you use film the size of your face, then yeah, it's going to look pretty modern. But
Yeah.
but this one was interesting because the coloring was so pretty modern. Like it felt like a shot with an Arri Alexa. I couldn't find the information, but like everyone's like, it looks like an Arri, it looks like a Zeiss Prime, like it looks like these standard things that all the modern movies are doing, and so it almost felt too clean. A lot of shadows, of course, but Secret
But
Agent,
not to the point where you're like, this is too dark, which so
Yeah, that's
many
true.
things are right now. You're
That's
like,
true.
I can't see it.
I
I don't
know.
even know what's happening. It's like
Be nice.
House of the Dragon. You're like, what's going on?
Well,
I
they-
don't know what's happening in the show.
it's bad writing, so it doesn't matter. Sorry, so angry.
Beside
with
the
that.
point, but I can't see it.
Ugh.
So it does matter.
And you just have to listen to the bad dialogue. Ugh. Anyways, yeah, but beautiful. I was pretty impressed. I'm like, this is it. It wasn't being crazy because like Secret Agent, I go back to that one because it was crazy coloring and crazy VFX on purpose. So this felt more standard filmmaking, like really well done. And man, that food looked good.
It looked so good.
The food looked great. The people looked great. Like she's all glammed
She
up.
was
She looked great.
First of all,
captivating the
she's
whole
gorgeous.
time. Oh my
let's
goodness.
just talk about this. Like she's supposed to be the older one in the pictures.
I
That
want to
is
go
not
back
fair.
and watch her soap.
Yeah,
Like
for real.
she's great. And I want to
Yes.
watch the Guillermo del Toro movie she's in earlier in her
She's
life.
in a Guillermo del Toro movie?
What?
That he produced. He
Oh, there
didn't
you
direct
go.
it,
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, and
like
Yeah, so-
2008 or something,
So
something.
we're talking about the character of Norma, played by Barbara Mori,
oh my goodness.
who is Uruguayan Mexican.
Yes, she's not Peruvian at all, but
No.
she
Or
studied.
Parisian.
And she's been in
Parisian, what did I say?
Bollywood movies. She's been in all sorts of stuff.
Am I using the incorrect term there?
No, just her father was from France in the
okay.
movie. So
Oh, I see what you're
she's,
saying. Yes.
she's a weird.
Yeah.
Like her mother's Peruvian and her
Right.
father was supposed to be Parisian, so she's supposed to be mixed.
But she's got some mad like credit for her Peruvian accent, because she apparently did a bunch of listening to Chabuca Granda, who is a pretty famous Peruvian singer, and so had like kind of a low gravelly voice. So that was kind of a thing that she like to really
Yeah, she's captivating.
very under other than the part where she blows up at her son, like a very understated role, but still holds our attention every second. Yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
very, yeah.
Well, it's a lot of heavy lifting for her, and then the other lead,
Which is why
Oscar.
Mariah got me a Modella because we had a little Mexico representation there. So there you go. Shout out to Mariah. Thanks.
Get the
Oscar.
tasty one anyway.
The driver is played by Cesar Balumbrogio,
Yes.
who this is his only acting role, I believe.
No way.
Yes.
That's great. He did great.
But he's the son of a famous musician, or is he a famous musician? But he's
Both.
got a music back. Yeah, he's got a
He
music background.
is a percussionist, so whatever he's doing in the
cajon,
alleyway,
baby. The cajon solo by himself, by the way. I was like, okay,
That's what
that was
he
a little
does.
ridiculous to me. But then when he had the cajon with the rest of the band, I'm like, oh, you had to segue that to do that. It's like I can't just play my cajon and make money by itself. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah. So his father, Amador Balumbrogio, is an icon of Afro-Peruvian musical culture. So
Dope.
a dynasty,
How cool
of
is that?
these things.
Nepo
and so I
baby.
assume that is why they wanted Tim. It's a different flavor of Peruvian culture, and obviously you could bring in the music. And I did like that. I said it earlier, like there wasn't a lot of romance because it kind of fell out of nowhere at the end in a way, except that they were doing a little bit of the poems back and forth at each other.
Well, the protectiveness and
But it felt more
it
platonic to me.
It seemed platonic, but there's moments of intimacy, like feeding each other and like the
Yes.
food part. Like there's moments where you're like, that could be leading to something, and then at the end. But it's
The
not
fork
obvious.
scene, guys. The
it's
fork
not
scene.
obvious,
Can we
which
talk
is
about the
nice.
fork scene?
When she gave
And he
gives
like,
him
yeah.
the thing.
I thought that was very great. He like,
steak.
he's like, do I?
Yeah.
Is it my use
Oh,
my
right.
hand? Like,
Are you feeding me
Yeah,
or do
like
I take
it was a very like, ooh, this is
Yeah.
getting spicy, and I know where this one's
But
going.
I think you could read that as like, it's a class thing.
Distinct. Yeah. She's letting me use her fork for one.
Right.
And then also,
And-
like this is like just a level of intimacy that's not.
Yeah, and there
Beyond-
wasn't like, to me, again, in a different version, he'd be more like pining after her or something, and we would have had more setup that like he didn't like how the husband was treating her. But we go in pretty cold on their relationship. And he's kind of like doesn't like her because she's like, wait, she's already leaving this party I'm trying to have fun with.
Yeah.
And then he's sort of just being like a little bit sensible and like slightly caring.
it's all you
and
need,
they were
right, Ryan?
pretty-
Just slightly, just a little bit
Yeah,
sensible.
I mean,
slightly
maybe-
caring.
You
Again-
don't have to be very nice.
You
No,
know,
just a
wasn't
little
a
bit.
good situation.
Barely.
But like he was super professional like the whole time. And so is this weird, like they didn't need to be romantic to me. Like they could have just been friends. Like it was all just we're
don't-
partners in this.
Making him a partner
We
is
don't
the
even have
thing.
to listen to Pat. We just have to
Yeah.
keep our own jokes going in the background.
Just throw me a
It's
bone
great.
here.
It's fine.
I think you're funny, Ryan.
Thank you.
What was Pat saying?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. But anyway,
No,
Barbara
it-
Morey was great
She's great.
and looked great.
We got to talk
And
about
what
the
more can you
racism.
want?
We got to talk about the racism because I love talking about racism. So much racism. Did you guys get the racist
I don't see racism.
well, her husband was laid it on pretty thick because that was one of the fun things for me.
Oh, when misnaming him?
When they called me a different name. And did you hear the name he called him?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay, so
yeah, same.
it's a pancake house that used to be at a beach place we used to live.
Sambo?
Yes.
Oh.
He said Sambito.
That's not nice.
And they didn't translate it below, but I'm like, oh, that's the same like racist thing that like I was like, oh my goodness. So like calling him like little whatever, and I was like, oh, there it is, because they alluded to it earlier, and he's like, no, you never say anything, but your husband used to always call me names that are not my name, and then they did it, and I was like, bam, there it is. That's like, and she turned, and that's when like it changed she became stronger at that point because she like that was
I
like
didn't
Flip the switch.
Yeah.
know that's what that was.
Yeah.
Because he's
I didn't. I took note that he didn't say
Languages.
his name, but I didn't.
Languages.
I didn't. It didn't.
Yeah,
click
'cause he
that
talked
that's
about
what it
that.
was.
Yeah, 100%. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, they did not translate that because they probably didn't not know how to translate that because it's the same. It would be little because there used
not
to be
quite like the
unfortunately
N-word.
no, but it's like
sort of the
similar.
N-word.
It's like saying you're from the jungle, essentially. You know, like and so it's a very racist thing that we here in Oregon. Surprise, surprise, racist Oregon. Had a pancake house in one of the beach towns we lived in that was called Little Sambo's. And that has been gone
Until
for the last
very
20
recently, it was called that.
Was it I think 10, 15 years ago? But still, yeah. Way too recent.
Still, that's very recently.
That's pretty, very recent, yeah.
Since
so,
2000.
So that's what I noticed. I'm like,
It has
oh, there we go. Because that's a lovely thing about Peru, not the racism, but the multiculturalness of Peru. Don't forget, Brazil's pretty close to y'all. And Brazil is one of the most crazily culturally diverse countries out there.
That was a cool thing we got
Yes.
with Secret Agent too.
Yes. We got two really culturally diverse cultures. That's not a very good sentence.
Big shout out
but
to
yeah, but
Raul,
you know what I mean.
the Japanese sous chef. Really, I think expanding it, just full culture assimilation situation there in a way.
I did love that.
Which was like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
When that guy showed up, and it was a wide shot, like a Tarantino shot initially, and he's got all his knives, and then I was like, oh, Raul's Japanese.
Yeah.
That's
Which
cool.
is
And then he
great.
put his full chef outfit on. And I was like, all right.
Mm-hmm. No,
That was
cool.
like our first real big food love scene was when Raul showed up.
and
Yeah.
had respect for her dad. That was it was all well written into it, but it did feel for our tastes, more for Mariah and Pat's tastes, a little too buttoned up where everything kind of
It was
fit perfectly
very
nice.
spelled out.
So-
Like, oh, what are the chances that the one guy that answers this ad happened to work for her father? And like, great that he's also part of like a different culture, and that's great that we're bringing that in there. But why is he the one person then he knew her?
You know, I didn't even mind that so much. I think it's just it's using a template that is, you know, well used and successful. And, you know, we talk about this with Seven Samurai and stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with reusing these very tried and true templates.
It worked for Bug's Life.
Exactly.
Still,
I think this one, to me, didn't quite follow the template enough in some ways that I felt a little lost as a viewer of like, what should I anticipate? Because it didn't also take left turns hard enough in some ways to like, oh, that's cool, way to kind of, move away from my expectations, subvert them. That's the word I wanted. But it's good. Can I tell you what I wished Mistura was?
Yes. Okay. Here we go, Pat.
please.
Pat's. This is almost like becoming a regular thing.
Pat's
like
dictionary.
Pat's wish for the movie, because every movie we watch is like, I kind of wish it went this way, because Pat's already like rewriting it. So this is
the way you shouldn't watch movies. But when you go in so cold, and you're trying to go, what is this movie?
Yes.
Your brain starts trying to connect dots before they're there, and then sometimes that's bad, and it makes you enjoy a movie less, or sometimes it's more.
Yeah.
In this situation, I didn't know what Mistura meant. We didn't get that far. Profe didn't teach us Mistura in senior year.
Yeah.
I thought it could mean something like mistress or something. And I thought, is she going to name the restaurant like Mistress and be kind of edgy? And
That's
I thought,
funny.
that'll be cool. Like I'm into that. Like this
I'm
is like a slap in
calling
the
him
face.
out every day.
Just being
exactly.
just being petty,
like
just being petty to the end.
owning it. And it's like, oh, you got a mistress? Like this restaurant's like my mistress. And and then it was like she named it, something very French, and I was like, why is this movie called this? I felt very disappointed because they made a big deal too about what should we name, this restaurant, and then it was like I didn't care about that name at all.
No.
And I was like, what's Mistura? And then of course they do eventually tell you, and it is that it generally means a mixture, a blend, a concoction.
Yeah, I felt like the
go,
name was kind of
that's
like,
the whole point of the movie.
That's
Okay,
kind of silly.
fine.
Sure. It's a little obvious, don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah. But again, in Coda, that sometimes the name being on the nose is great. I didn't know what it meant in this situation, and so I made up something else that maybe I wanted.
Sure.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that have been pretty hardcore if she was like, that's the other version of it where she leans into
she calls it
away the high
Amelia's
society.
or whatever the
exactly.
say
Like
was.
she's like, I'm out of your society, and look at all the ways I'm breaking the rules.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not what they did. She struggled to break free, which again I think made sense, but it wasn't as fun.
She calls it First Wives Club.
Yeah, like if Mariana came in, her like anti-friend, and it was like, look at all the ways I'm sticking it to you now, Mariana. You'd have been like, that's satisfying.
Or calls it the
and that's
country
more the
club
rom-com thing.
Something.
Yeah, and instead it's like, no, she just gets real mad, and then she takes that out on her staff, and that's a bummer.
Yeah, that whole exchange, like where she's getting pulled back and forth, and then takes it out on the wrong people. It's very human. But yeah, that was kind of a
Oh my goodness, guys!
dramatic moment.
I'm about to edit this Wikipedia page. They don't have the chef in here.
Oh,
Raul?
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't want to be.
Oh, that's
recognized.
messed up.
Right?
He was
Tomas
definitely
Tashi
in even
Matsufuji is his name. Tomas Tashi Matsufuji is his name. In case you guys want to know, that's the
I
chef's
like
name.
his name. That's a great name.
Well, Tashi's like his nickname, but so it's Tomas was like his Spanish first name because he is a in real life. He
Does
really
he
is
live in Peru?
Yeah, he's a Peruvian chef of Japanese descent.
Cool.
So like that's
Super
legit.
cool.
Like it's like we have a real percussion player who's a percussion player, and we have a real Peruvian of Japanese descent chef who's a real Peruvian of Japanese descent chef.
Yeah.
And he's kind of famous for it.
Yeah,
And
I think
Rosa
the fun
have
fact
any
surrounding
fun
the
things?
movie makes you kind of go, I want this movie to get pushed in.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like it won't. It's not. It's too happy of an ending to do any dents or surprise in the nomination category, but it's a well crafted movie. Like that's the thing about this movie. Like I watched it not knowing what I was getting into and having, as far as I know, never seen a Peruvian movie. And thinking this is really, I mean, I've seen movies like this, but this is like on par with a lot of the movies I'd want to see. Like it really did feel, because if I understood some of the cultural references, because I had to look some of the stuff up, like the talk show guy in the movie was a real talk show guy. Like so that would have been like a handle that like, oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this guy's the famous like.
Yeah, they were basically saying like there's a lot of cameos.
There's a lot. This is a lot of cameo
Yeah.
movies. Like, so this would have been if I was from Peru, I would be like, oh man, how cool!
It's like a star-studded South American cast.
It really is kind of a fun. I feel like it would be. It's really a treat if you're from Peru,
which probably makes it less snobby.
For sure, but like that's the joke about one of my favorite Chinese movies of all time. I argue it's one of the least snobby wushu movies of all time or kung fu movies of all time because it's like every famous mainland Chinese actor's in it. So like it's not that snobby for China, but for America, it's pretty snobby. I mean, he's got Jet Li, so everyone knows Jet Li. But anyways, but yeah. So there's a lot of fun things about this movie that kind of. The care was there. They really,
it's well made.
As Pat likes to say, you felt taken care of throughout this movie.
Taken care of. I loved getting this as a screener, and I loved that it was an hour and 40 minutes.
It's a good length.
Preach.
Thank you.
Preach.
Thank you.
No more 3-hour movies.
I watched it pretty late, and I didn't need to go. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It was very
easy to watch.
Easy watch. Again, maybe a knock against it being snobby, right? Like for us, it's snobby because it's a foreign language film.
Yeah.
Mostly. But like it's very, and again, I think it follows templates you'll be used to. I think that will maybe be what goes against it in an Oscar conversation is like, it's not a challenging movie. Like even going back to Coda is the movie goes down easy, but it's presented in a way that is fairly unique for most audiences, and that there's a ton of sign language, right?
Right.
Even though it's just a remake of a French movie, but whatever.
Exactly. So I think in that way, there's sort of an element that's like a little bit more unique that I don't know that this movie will have, but I think if you like movies about food and you like generally movies with a little bit of drama, like it's got all those things and it's really well done. It's easy to look at, and I think
pretty people.
It's well done,
man. A one more little side note before we close off. The person who plays the husband who dated Miss Peru, his mom was Miss Universe.
Oh, really?
Nice.
I was wondering if he was like, fairly famous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a
singer
guy.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And who was the other one? It was either him or the other guy was like one of his first coming back to actually a Peruvian movie because he's been so famous internationally that he hadn't done a movie in Peru in a while. So that's kind of a fun thing too. So this does seem like a very fun like show-offy Peruvian movie, but it's still for Peru, which I kind of appreciate. It's not like this is for the Oscars and this is like gonna be this thing that's gonna say a message. No, this is a nice movie that's for the people.
Another fun fact. He did form an alt-rock band
Yes.
1987.
Yay!
Yes! So good. No,
Or
Now I need to look.
keyboardist.
talk
so
about a rock star, dude.
not maybe the coolest.
No. Hey,
Position,
whatever.
but-
That keytar plays, man. That keytar.
I'd
Yeah.
listen to some guitar.
Yeah. Watch out
Yeah.
for those foreign objects.
We did it.
We did it.
This-
All right, guys.
Thank you.
That was fun. Another
Thank you,
screener.
emailer, for the screener.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, it's a good watch. Way to go, guys. We are pulling for you. We don't know if we're optimistic, but you took care of us. We appreciate the time we guys watch this movie. And here we go, Peru. Get that second nomination. Here we go. What do you say, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Pulling
Yeah.
for you.
All right. In the meantime, I'm Seth.
Mariah.
Pat.
And we are your How to Be a Movie Snob team. Until next time, guys, keep watching movies. Bye.
Goodbye.
Adios.